Yeah, the move. Whatever hand you hit, you move to that side. Left hook, boom! You gotta think of throwing punches. Your job is to throw punches.
A dog with sheep, it will become a sheep.
Anthony Joshua is training with Mike Tyson. Before his fight with Jake Paul, he is learning old-school techniques from Tyson's team to improve his skills. Right now, he is focusing on strategy, speed, and power. The camp is focused on planning, fitness, and making
him coming forward, punching to the body of his heart.
Anthony Joshua said. Mike Tyson inspired him with his power and discipline. AJ has added special neck and shoulder exercises like Tyson used. He says these drills make him stronger, more stable, and improve his punching, showing how learning from legend.
I got from Mike Tyson. A lot of wrestlers do this. Quite dangerous, actually. Physios don't like this type of stuff, but it's good for neck conditioning. It's called neck bridges. And it's flexibility and strength at the same time. So it's a really good exercise if you...
Mike Tyson advised Anthony Joshua and called him an excellent fighter. He said staying active and fighting often is the key to getting better. Being in the ring regularly sharpens skills, builds confidence, keeps a fighter at peak performance.
You give to somebody like AJ?
That he has a lot of talent and not to get discouraged. He only loses when he quits. When you quit, all the doors of opportunities close. You know what I mean? You just got to be, you have to be game. And then don't get discouraged if you lose. Listen, you just lost, you may have got $30 million. I just think the more time you lay off, the worse you get. You have to fight to be the best. You have to do.
Anthony Joshua is training hard using parts of Mike Tyson's style. He does neck rolls and strength exercises to increase power and toughness. He focuses on speed, technique, and conditioning. These workouts improve his punching, agility, and stamina, showing he is fully.
Bro, my physio's looking at me like, what the fuck? I can see you looking at me like, fuck, please don't fucking look. Hey, if it goes, at least you're here anyway. You know, 43,000 tuned in. Oh, mate. I know I started this shit.
Just trying to set up the physio table, put the flats on it.
Anything.
Get back up there.
I'm easy, boss.
Eat.
Showtime sent me a lovely picture of me.
Eddie Hearn thinks Anthony Joshua would beat Jake Paul if they fought. He says Jake Paul is not a top boxer, but Joshua's win wouldn't be automatic. Joshua has beaten strong opponents like Francis Ngannou, showing his wins come from skill, preparation, and discipline. Hearn says Joshua has the power technique and strategy.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, 50-50 fight. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ, I mean, decapitate's a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh well, it was Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. Then AJ poleaxed him and everyone just said he's just an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? Jake Paul's not Francis Ngannou. But, as I said before, if you want to see Jake Paul exit the boxing world...
Nigel Benn worries celebrity fights hurt professional boxing. When social media stars fight, real boxers who train for years don't get paid fairly. Traditional fighters earn little compared to the huge money in crossover fights. These fights get big audiences and sponsors, giving large paydays to less experienced fighters. Ben says this trend could harm boxing because it ignores professional fight.
Bit of rumours around today, Anthony Joshua and Jake.
No. I'm not even really entertaining that. It's just not. Being a two-time heavyweight champion of the world, it's I don't know, YouTubers. I'm not really into all them influencers coming in there, and there's like some boxers that really work their butt off, don't get paid like what these guys are getting. And Anthony Joshua being a former world champion should be fighting like someone in the top 5, top 10. So I really got much time to talk about that. Not
Do you think it's
interested really.
bad for boxing?
Well, not bad for boxing. If people want to pay to watch it, then who am I? I'm just giving you my opinion. Who's not worked his way through the ranks to earn that shot at the former world champion? No, not at all.
Australian boxing. Who are you a fan of? Obviously got good fighters out there.
Jai's my type of fighter. He's very spiteful, and it's just another level, really. I don't think there's no better cruiserweight around.
Adola talks about the money in a Joshua versus Jake Paul fight. He says Joshua would be foolish to turn down a fight that could earn almost $100 million. For Joshua, Paul is not a big challenge compared to the reward. Adola says such a payday is rare, even for top champions. Joshua can earn huge money with little risk, as Paul lacks experience.
Someone knocks on your door and says, do you want to fight Jake Paul for 100 million? You're like, you'd be stupid to say no. No, I don't want that 100 million for what would be and will be and should be easy work for AJ. Like, well, why are you going to turn down 100 million? AJ should and could, should knock out Jake Paul in a round. Like if Jake Paul was over here fighting under our British Boxing Board of Control, I don't think it would be a Southern Area Cruiserweight champion. AJ is a former unified heavyweight champion of the world that I still believe is a top 10 heavyweight in the world. Like AJ should be able to destroy him. AJ is going to be 60 pounds or so bigger than him. AJ hits like a truck. AJ is a better boxer. Like this is...
Many fans dislike Joshua fighting Jake Paul. They think it mocks boxing. It's matching a top heavyweight with a social media star. Fans worry Joshua might miss a chance to fight Tyson Fury, a real challenge. Critics feel the fight is more about money than the sport. Social media is full of complaints, and fans wonder if Joshua's legacy could be affected.
Anthony Joshua gets in the ring with YouTuber Jake Paul, and that's what he is, YouTuber Jake Paul. Would you watch it? Simon, before we take some calls, with this seemingly in the pipeline, can we safely say goodbye to Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury?
Well, I think it's done anyway, judging by the mood music that seems to be coming out from various camps. If you listen to Tyson Fury, he seems to be, despite the fact we've danced this dance before and walked this walk before, he seems to be talking in a very different way. There's no hyperbole. It's, I'm done. This is a younger man's game. I've done my bit. I'm at peace with where I am in life. I don't need boxing anymore. But not in the flash for cash way that Tyson often does it. In a more earnest way is my understanding of his sort of thought processes. So with that in mind, it almost feels that that's off the table anyway. Who knows? The draw of the enormous amounts of money that this one fight can generate. This is the one fight that can really get everybody paid. I mean, the two protagonists. Whatever Usyk takes, tragically for him, he wouldn't even get anywhere near as much money as potentially being offered for the Fury-Joshua fight.
What would earn AJ more of a pay packet? Fighting Fury or fighting Jake Paul?
Well, I would think tragically fighting Jake Paul.
God, what is that?
Because the revenues, because it's a Gen Z TikTok generation that wants to watch sport in a certain way.
Yeah,
and that's nothing critical of them. It's just the way that it is. And that's the circumstances of social media and the platforms that people like Jake Paul are able to cross over. It's not a case of people in the mainstream should be dinosaurs. The digital world and those opportunities and those platforms are marvelous places. And you heard me talking about Mark Goldbridge the other day and the commercial deal that he did with the Bundesliga. And we can be sniffy about their level of content, or we can accept that there's a place for everybody. It's interesting that still the digital...
Let's say Jake Paul fighting Joshua is a big step up from his past opponents. Before he faced older or retired fighters, Joshua is an active top boxer. This fight forces Paul to improve his training, strategy, and mindset. He can't rely on easy opponents anymore. Analysts say he is still the underdog. but the fight will test him and show his growth.
Even bigger than the Mike Tyson fight. It's hard to say, really. Tyson was a big name, but it's going to do numbers regardless, because Joshua is a big name, and then people are going to be tuning in to see Jake Paul get knocked out. Right now, Eddie Hearn talks about Jake Paul taking this Joshua fight.
I mean, my estimations of Jake Paul would go through the roof if he signed to fight Anthony Joshua, because I just can't believe in my mind that he would do something like that. I mean, Gervonta was a smart one because of his size. Like, you know, I think actually he would have had a lot of success against Jake Paul, but the size is a problem. But this would just be, you know, like if Jake Paul was to take the fight with AJ, you'd really have to maybe carry his balls in a wheelbarrow on the ring walk, you know, because AJ wouldn't mess around in there, you know. So it would be huge, but nothing, you know, to tell you it's close. Just a few conversations so far.
Damn right, if Jake Paul takes this fight, he's got some major balls on him. And I know people hate influencer boxing, but come on, he's not fighting an old, retired, past the prime MMA fighter. No, he's fighting a legit boxer who's massive, 6'5", 6'6", jacked, 240, 250 pounds, shredded, power puncher. Do we need to remind ourselves of what Joshua did to Francis Ngannou? Francis Ngannou was coming off a pretty good performance over Tyson Fury. He didn't get the win in that fight, but you could argue that he did actually win that fight. And Ngannou, throughout his entire MMA career, in 4-ounce gloves, very rarely got hit. He could take a punch. He's got a big, fat African head. Big, thick neck, traps, back. He just can't really be hit. And look what Joshua...
Shane McQuiggan doubts the Joshua versus Jake Paul fight will happen. He calls it unrealistic, questioning if it can really be organized. Even with media hype, contracts, promotion, and risk could stop it. From a sports view, it may not help Joshua's credibility. McQuiggan reflects concerns that money and hype might come before real competition.
Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul reports. What do you make of it? And if we were to see AJ step in with Jake Paul?
I said it yesterday, I'll say it again, I think it's fast. I just don't see how it's going to materialise. I didn't think the tank fight would materialise, and it didn't. And you know, it's all good saying that you're going to box somebody, and then, you know, but until literally they're on the ring walk and in the ring, and I'm not going to believe it.
Away from AJ, what do you make of the Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr. fight next week?
It's an interesting fight. Haney's up at 147. He looks good. He looks physically good. It's mad to think he's only 26 years of age. Confident-wise, I don't know what that Garcia fight took out of him. You know, because yes, he tested positive afterwards, but I believe that his Achilles heel is punch resistance, and I think, you know, it'll be interesting. I don't know enough about Norman, but I think, you know, definitely test him, and maybe Devin Haney will hold a better shot now. He's up at 147. But yeah, it's an exciting matchup. You know, I think it's a.
Analysts see a change in how Jake Paul is seen in boxing. He used to be seen as a social media star. Now, people see him more as a real boxer because he faces tougher opponents. Fans, trainers, and commentators respect him more. It doesn't mean he's equal to elite boxers like Joshua, but he is gaining.
One that I was mostly familiar was the Anderson Silva one. Where Anderson Silva had like one sick round where he's like, whoop, whoop, you know, doing it what Anderson Silva does and missing everything and cracks him and whatever. And then he just, like, the next few rounds, he's back to, like, just getting his butt kicked by Jake Paul and walking around. Doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think these guys are actually getting dropped to, like, faking. I think Jake Paul actually has that kind of power. I just feel like they kind of know the deal.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. I make a lot of money. You make a lot of money, not as much money as me, but you make more money than you ever would. So you take it. You know, it is what it is. But I don't know. Kind of sucks to see all these legends, right? Like, of the sport. Like, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see this guy is losing to freaking Jake Paul.
I will say I loved everything about the Tyson fight in the lead up, and then as I'm actually watching it, I'm like, all right, this is actually fucked up. My bad.
Yeah, it's like senior.
Even when he turns around on.
People take Jake Paul more seriously now because he trains hard, studies boxing, and takes on tough fights. This helps his career as he can face better opponents in bigger fights. Analysts say he is still learning, but gaining respect marks a turning point for crossover fighters.
Probably knows some other stuff
Like how much Anthony Joshua made.
is he in debt? Does he have to do? You know, they know these.
There's an outside motivation to want to do it. Yeah.
And then that's probably why guys like Tyson or whatever would like, well, yeah, I need to pay some bills. Let's do it.
It also gets their name back out there, like in a big way.
And it has to be a big enough name that people are interested at all. Yeah.
And I think at this point, Jake Paul is taken a little more seriously than before. Like if it was the first fight, I think it's a lot different. But then at this point, I think it's more like, oh yeah, it's a thing. It's an exhibition. It's
a model.
Yeah. This has got to be big money because even Anthony Joshua's last fight that he lost, he reportedly earned about 25 million pounds. And when he fought Francis Ngannou in March, he approximately made $50 million.
Wow.
So, like, rumor mill has it so that Jake Paul is set to potentially earn, Jake Paul might earn 90